Today, Srila Gurudev spoke about a very important subject that ties into the verse we just memorized. So we just memorized the verse, Bhagavad Gita 3:37. Kama esha krodha esha raja guna samudbhava mahasano mahapapma vidyainam ihaverinam. Arjuna asked Krishna, what is that force that impels us to do sinful activities, even seemingly against our desire? To that question, Krishna responds, it is verily lust or material desire, anarthas, that is that powerful force which is raging like a forest fire, which is the great enemy of man, and it transforms into krodh, anger. So this lust and anger together is like a raging forest fire that consumes people and causes their destruction. So then Gurudev, today in his quote of the day, it ties into this verse. So Gurudev said there are certain activities we must perform if we want to advance in devotional service or in bhakti. There are 6 activities we must avoid, and there are 6 things that nourish our bhakti, 6 things that will diminish or destroy our tendency to do bhakti, and then 6 things that we need to learn to regulate. So Gurudev talks about these things in 3 verses. And it also ties into this Kama Esha Krodha Esha, because when Krishna talks about Kama Esha Krodha Esha, afterwards he gives Arjuna a method to try to conquer over it. He says, the method Krishna gives is, first we have to learn what is the nature of the self, and realize that the self is transcendental to the body and mind and is very powerful. So if we become established in the true self, then naturally we'll conquer over lust and anger and these other unwanted things or desires. And Krishna says the method to realize the self is through gradual understanding. He said superior to the body is the mind and the subtle body. Superior to the subtle body, superior to the mind is the intelligence. Superior to the intelligence is the Atma, the soul. So be established in the true self, the soul. And then you'll easily conquer over lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion. But how to be established in the self? So Krishna says you should follow the process of Abhyas Yoga. Abhyas means steady practice. So you should practice controlling your mind through self-discipline. You can do this through meditation, through chanting of mantras, through service to Guru, through service to the Dham, the holy places, the temple, the deities, through cleansing the body and mind through these activities. So these are ways in which we gradually practice being established in the self and conquering over lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion. And then Gurudev gave these 3 verses of Upadeshamrita. Also, what we're going to talk about today in Vilap Kusumanjali ties into this point. How do we realize the true nature of the self, and how do we learn self-discipline? So Gurudev's quote of the day ties into this. Also Vilap Kusumanjali today will tie into that. So first, Gurudev talked about 3 verses of Upadeshamrita. The first 3. Maybe some of us know this, so we'll recite them again for other people's benefit. Vacho vegam manasakrodha vegam jiva vegam udara upasta vegam etan vegan yoveshahet dira sarvam apimam prativim sasishyat. So these are 6 kinds of urges we need to learn to control. That's called self-discipline. And these are especially important if we want to lead others. In the end, the 4th line, Rupa Goswami, who is the author of this verse in Upadeshamrita, says if we want to be a leader or like a guru, then we have to control these 6 urges before we try to teach or preach or save others. So first, Vacho Vegam, the urge to speak without license. Jiva Vegam, the urge to satisfy our tongue by eating many different tasty items that may not be offered or may not be proper for us. In the CC, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Jivera lalas jay iti utidai shishno dara parayan Krishna hi pai. Those who are slaves to their desire to eat tasty foods, they end up becoming slaves of the other senses. It said the tongue, belly and genitals, they're in one line. So if you are not controlling your tongue, then this will lead to not being able to control your belly or your impulse for sex life. So Vacha Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, you should learn to control the mind, Manasa, Krodha Vega, the agitation of anger, So this is covering Kam and Krodh. Vacha Vega, Manasa Krodha Vega, Jiva Vega. Jiva Vega means the tongue. Vacha means to speak, and Jiva means to satisfy the tongue. Etan Vegan Yovesha Tadira Sarvam Apimam Prithivim Shishyat. Someone who has developed the self-discipline through which they are able to control these 6 urges. Meaning, Vacho, to speak without control. We see Mahabharat and the Ramayana are 2 examples of great wars that were caused by uncontrolled speech. That it is said that Draupadi criticized Duryodhan when he entered the mystic palace that was built for the Pandavas by Vishwakarma, and he fell into a pool that looked like it was a carpet, and she said, "Oh, like father is blind, so son is blind." And he became so angry, it led to the Mahabharat war. So because she did not control her speech, it led to the destruction of this entire family line. Also, Sita Devi harshly criticized Lakshman, and he left her because of that to check for Ram by her desire, and ultimately Ravan was able to capture her because of that. So it said we should be very careful to control the speech. When we talk about the number 1 offense to Harinam, it's criticizing the devotees. Actually, it said Sadhu Ninda, or this is the first aparad. But actually, there's 6 kinds of offense to sadhus. Hanti nindanti vaidvesti vaishnava na abhinandati krudite yadino harsham darshane patananishat. To be angry towards them, to attack or beat them, to not welcome them, to not be happy upon seeing them, to wish ill upon them, or to act wrongly to them. But when we generally talk about it, we say criticizing the devotees, because we think, okay, it's not so often that we'll go and try to kill a Vaishnav or beat a Vaishnav, but we think it's very easy to criticize them by our speech. So this is Vacha Vegam. That's why it's number 1. If we cannot control our tongue, then ultimately we won't be able to progress in bhakti. Whatever we develop in bhakti will be destroyed because of committing this offense of not controlling the tongue and committing offenses through the tongue. So this is Vacha Vegam. Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udara Upasta Vegam. We need to control the belly, the tongue, the mind. And when we develop self-discipline like that, then we'll be able to conquer over all of the things that keep us in ignorance, including sleep. Krishna calls Arjuna Gudakesh. He has conquered over sleep. So if we want to conquer over sleep also, we need to learn to regulate our eating habits. And there are other kinds of way we consume things. That's covered in the 2nd verse. So the 2nd verse of Upadeshamrita we can discuss now. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha jana sangas chalodhyamcha sadvyar bhakti vinasyati. These 6 things will destroy our inclination to bhakti, devotional activities. Atyahara, over-collecting. So that we can over-collect through all the senses, by hearing, by seeing, by tasting. We can over-collect with our mundane senses, mundane objects. The sloka we learned yesterday refers to that. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaya bandhaya vishaya sango muktyai nirvishayo manaha. That the mind is the cause of either liberation or bondage. The mind that is always running after sense gratification and it is a slave to the senses leads us to bondage, and the mind that is detached and free from desire for the object of the senses leads to our liberation. We learned this sloka yesterday. So this is referring to also the 1st and 2nd Upadeshamrita. We should learn to be detached and control our senses. So there's 6 things. Atyahara, over-collecting. Prayasas, over-endeavoring for activities not favorable directly to devotional service. Rupa Goswami describes this as Bahu Aramba. Trying to perform so many grandiose activities without qualification, without the order of Guru and Vaishnavas, and neglecting our own bhajan and sadhan. Gop Kumar took on so many responsibilities. He became a king, and he forgot to chant his mantras. He became Indra. And whenever he would be distracted from his primary objective in his spiritual life, which was his own bhajan, then his guru would come again and chastise him and saying, "Why are you engaged in all these material activities? These will not save you. Oh, you think I am the king doing so much social work, but you're not chanting Harinam, not doing your bhajan, all this will be useless." Sukadeva Goswami also told this to Parikshit Maharaj. Your whole life you've been serving the citizens in your kingdom, but still you did not change your nature, and you put a dead snake around the neck of a sadhu and were cursed to die in 7 days. Now, what will your subjects do to help you? So these external activities are called prayasas, over endeavor. Unless it's done as Guru Seva under guidance of Guru, if we're neglecting our Harinam, our sadhan, our bhajan in our spiritual life, then these are things that should be avoided. Prayasas cha prajalpa niyamagraha, mundane gossip and talk. Niyamagraha means over adherence to following rules and regulations or neglect of following scriptural rules and regulations. So we should follow according to how the Mahajans have shown us. Mahajano Jaina Gatapanta. Follow the path of the Mahajans who are your guardians and guides. Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Rupa Goswami says, the essence of all advice is follow those who have pure love. And follow the example they set. Don't try to cross over or do so much more. Don't over follow and also don't neglect. This is called Niyamagraha. Then Tat Tat Karma Prava. No, this is the next verse. Prajalpa Niyamagraha. Jana Sangas means avoid worldly association and avoid material greed. Don't be materially greedy. Okay? Sadbir Bhakti Vinasati. These things will destroy our inclination to bhakti. Then the third verse of Upadeshamrita. Utsahan nishchayat dharyat tat tat karma pravartanat sanga tyagat satovrite sadbir bhakti prasiddhati. These 6 activities increase our inclination towards bhakti, devotion. Utsaha, we should be enthusiastic in our pursuit of bhakti. Nishchayat, we should have faith in the process. Dharyat, we should have patience. Like we heard the story of that person who was doing bhajan under a tree, and he asked Narad Rishi, "Oh, you're going to Vaikuntha?" Asked Lord Narayan, "When will I be liberated?" And Narayan told Narad, after all there are many thousands and thousands and thousands of leaves on the tree. It will take him that many lifetimes to achieve perfection as there are leaves on the tree. And when the person heard this from Narad, he began dancing in ecstasy, thinking, "Oh, the Lord has said I will be saved." And then immediately the Lord came and saved him. So this is the example of patience, dharya and faith. And because of his patience and his faith, he was very quickly saved. So we can progress in spiritual life very rapidly or very slowly, according to our degree of patience and faith and determination. Krishna says, Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. If we want to obtain the ultimate goal of life, we have to perform bhakti with great intensity, patience, fortitude, and faith. Okay, dharyat. Tat tat karma pravartanat means tat and tat. Tat is referring to a certain, it's like that. So it's referring tat tat to the devotees and to Bhagavan Krishna. Tadiya and Madhya also. So it means we should do those activities to please and to serve Bhagavan and his devotees. Tat tat karma pravartanat. Be engaged in those kinds of activities. Jana Sangha, Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Jana Sangha, how's it go? Utsa Nishtayat Dharayat, Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sangha Tyagat Satovrite. Give up bad association, worldly people. That in Mahaprabhu himself would say that Tato dusangam utsrijya santu sajat subuddhiman. If you are intelligent, you will give up wicked association. Santa evaisha chindanti, and take shelter of sadhus who will cut through the attachments of your mind. Manavyasa muktibi. That is how you progress in spiritual life. Tatodu sangam utsrijya. Get rid of bad association. Mahaprabhu again and again reiterates this point. So therefore it said, Jana sangas, get rid of bad association, and satovrite, take shelter of the saintly devotees. These 6 activities will increase our determination and help us progress very rapidly in the process of devotional service. Okay? Vancha kalpatarubhasya, kripasindhubhasya, pitanang